YouTube. How are you, YouTube? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us for our Sunday morning cruise chat live. We're now on YouTube and TikTok simultaneously. How's everybody doing out there? Anybody going on a cruise today? I hope somebody's going on a cruise today. I think we've got at least one or two clients, I think, going out today on a couple of cruises. So some of the things that we have been talking about. Good morning, Norma. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks so much for joining in on a Sunday morning. Cheers to everybody. Cheers to an awesome day. Cheers to an extra day off for most of you. Not for me. We just keep right on working. We've got so many things to do. You're cruising in your car to go home today for 4 hours. Yay! That sounds like not the kind of cruise I want to go on right now. It sounds like us driving down to Miami, almost 3.5 hours down there. Christy, you have 126 days until your cruise. Yay! Awesome. Awesome. It's going to be so exciting. Good morning, Nene. Good to see you. Hey, by the way, on Thursday night, this coming Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to have Holland America. Whitney from Holland America is going to be joining me on the YouTube channel at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to spend an hour talking about all things Holland America. So if you've got questions, maybe you've never gone on Holland America, certainly join us on Thursday night. And by the way, if you like what we're doing, one, please subscribe to either YouTube or TikTok. And two, hit the little like buttons if you wouldn't mind, just so that TikTok and YouTube know that you like what we're doing. Now, Rebecca likes to poke me in the face if you're on TikTok. I don't know why. She seems to get a lot of pleasure out of that. But however you want to do it to to like the channel, we do very much appreciate that. And we appreciate y'all joining us on a Sunday morning. Good morning, user 934. Cruising Carnival Mardi Gras in December. Hey, Carnival Mardi Gras, fabulous ship. If you haven't seen it yet, I've got a whole playlist on TikTok. I've got a whole playlist on YouTube. It was a great ship. We were there with the whole family. In fact, we had multiple people their very first cruise on the ship. I'll never forget my nephew. First time on the ship. Was he
24, I think at the time.
24 at the time. And he's like, we had dinner at the Pig and Anchor, and he's like, can we have another dinner? I was like, yes. So we went up to Jabang, and that was it for him. He's like, I can have multiple dinners. Oh, I like cruising. This is awesome. And so that's what we did. But so many fun times out there. Hey, good morning. I got Jennifer. I got Joy. I got Kurt. Hey, guys, good morning. Good to see you all. But yeah, Carnival Mardi Gras, great ship. Shack Chicken is amazing. I love Shack Chicken so much. The Blue Iguana is actually quite good. I think it's much better than the, what do they call it? El Loco Fresh on Royal Caribbean.
Yeah,
it's actually quite good.
I would agree there.
And then Rudy Seagrill.
And I do think Carnival gets a bad rap.
Mm-hmm. Carnival does get a bad rap. They're a great cruise line.
I'm not saying they're perfect.
No.
No cruise line is.
No, in fact, you go over to La Lita Loca and look at Tony. He's just out there on the Carnival Paradise, which is, I think it is one of the oldest ships in the fleet. They had a great time. It looked like a lot of fun. So, any cruise line is what you make it. It's what you make it. KB403, lots of good Labor Day cruise sales out there. There are some good Labor Day cruises out there. Some of them are marketing in disguise, like something may or may not have changed. So, yeah, you definitely need to navigate, and you really need to look. But one of the biggest things that has come out, oh, Deborah. Hey, Deborah saying, hey, you're welcome, Deborah. I love this. So, Deborah, over on YouTube, we've been going back and forth on some Christmas marketplace cruises. And originally we were looking at Viking. And one of the things about Viking, and I don't know why they've done this, but they now want final payment between 12 and maybe 20 months before the cruise. And it's like, wait, why? Why are we paying it so far in advance?
Although I do hear rumors that if you are a previous Viking sailor, that time frame shortens a bit.
Yeah. Well, we do. I'll have to talk to some of our clients who are. But then we started looking at Avalon. We started looking at AMA, and Avalon Waterways is fabulous. Most of the river cruise line companies are in that 90 to 120 days before sailing. Just like most of the ocean cruise lines. But for some reason, Viking is like way earlier. So we did find some good looking cruises for her as well.
And I think the Labor Day sale thing was referring to Virgin Voyages, which they are having good sales.
Oh, Virgin Voyages. So Virgin Voyages. Oh, yeah. And thank you, KB. If you want to ask us a question about Virgin Voyages on TikTok, remember you cannot use the word virgin. TikTok will block it. That's not us. So use VV or just use the name of the ship. Don't use the word virgin on TikTok. You can do it all day long on YouTube. They're fine with it. But no, so Virgin Voyages actually has a legit sale going on right now. We have never seen the prices legitimately go down on Virgin Voyages. We've just refared a whole bunch of cruises because A, the fares went down. Two, they extended the bar tab now. I don't know why they stopped the bar tab for like the rest of 2024. And then a few weeks later, they started it again.
Well, they did slightly alter the offer. It's not available to rock stars and mega rock stars.
Exactly. So the Rockstar Suite's out. You can't get the bar tab. And in fact, the sale does not affect the Rockstar Suite either. It's XL C Terrace on down to the Insider. That's where the good deals are. But legitimately up to $500 off here in the U.S. for the Caribbean and up to $900 off in the Mediterranean. And they've extended that solo supplement through October this year, like all the sailings that remain in the Med pretty much on, Valiant and Resilient. No solo supplement, so you can get a balcony for the price of one. So that's going to be really, really awesome. Hey, good morning, Aaron. Good morning, Fred. Good to see you guys. Liz is going to be on the Carnival Glory in 7 days. Rock on. And Misty's going to be on the Carnival Magic in 7 days. Fantastic. Hey, Cabin Life, how are you? Going out on the Carnival Jubilee December 30th out of Galveston. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. We've got some clients going on in Jubilee. I really want to go to Galveston. I want to see. That is one ship I'm really excited to see, the Carnival Jubilee. I like that whole currents thing that they've got going on, with the bar and under the sea and all of that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, Aaron's saying that he can't wait. So again, Thursday, we're going to have Holland America on our YouTube channel at 8:30. Whitney, it's going to be my first time talking to Whitney on air. I cannot wait. She's going to be here to talk all things Holland America. So if you've never been on Holland America, you've heard, it's just an old person's cruise line. Come on and join in and see what Holland America is really like. They have some beautiful ships, have some great food, some amazing service. So yeah, absolutely. Come on in.
You do have to admit they definitely skew older than, say, Carnival.
And a lot of that has to do too with the fact that they have some longer itineraries.
Yes.
A lot of longer itineraries.
But we cruised them about 11 years ago. It was our very first Thanksgiving cruise. Had a marvelous time. Had a fabulous time. Had an absolutely fabulous time. And like in Alaska and on the 7-day cruises in the Caribbean, you're going to see a lot more families, a lot more younger people. So come and join us on Thursday night and see what Holland America is all about. We got Fred. I got Vanessa. Good morning, Lee. That's fun to say. Lee, how are you? I hope to see you on the Icon in January. Yeah, so we're going to be on the Icon. If you have not heard, in fact, I don't even know if I've said anything about this on TikTok yet, but we're going to be on the very first sailing of the Icon of the Seas. It's a preview sailing, January 20th through the 23rd. I'm going to try and stay up the entire 3 days if I can. I used to do that when I was in news and film production. Rebecca is just going to be lounging by the pool the entire time. I'm going to be running around like a madman, filming everything I can. Yes, I will be doing live streams from the ship. So we literally will be the first people on the ship, January 20th. The first official sailing, it's on the 27th. That's the inaugural sailing. But January 20th through the 23rd and the 23rd through the 26th, they're doing 2 preview sailings. And we're going to get to go to Coco Cay, which the Hideaway Beach is supposedly going to be ready. That's the new 18 plus adults only beach. It is complimentary. There's no extra charge. That's supposed to be ready for the Icon of the Seas. So either we're going to see it in a preview or we're actually going to get a chance to go use that. So it's going to be fun. Yay, Jennifer is excited about her trip on the Nordam in April. That's the thing. Holland America has a whole lot of damn ships out there. You just got to keep up with what they are. They
Eurodam,
have some amazing
Nordam,
itineraries, though. They really do.
They have some of the most ridiculous itineraries out there. We actually have some clients who are doing the, I think it's 42 days. It's the full Mediterranean, but it's round trip from Fort Lauderdale. So they're going to start in Fort Lauderdale. They're going to go through the whole Mediterranean, just like your standard Mediterranean trip. And then they're going to come back to Fort Lauderdale. And that's just one of many I think they call them Grand Voyages. Oh my goodness, they've got so many amazing cruises over there. Let's see. Chris is asking, is VV out of California? Soon. Oh man, we lost our connection. How did that happen on TikTok? So is Virgin Voyages going to be out of California soon? That's the best I can do, or the best I can say. So the Brilliant Lady. So all 4 ships are identical. All 4 lady ships are identical, except Brilliant Lady was modified. The aft on the 3 previous lady ships flares out a little bit. So they've squared that up. And then they've done something with the lifeboats. So the lifeboats are going to hang directly over the ship. On the other 3 lady ship, the lifeboats hang over the edge. So they cannot go through the Panama Canal. Brilliant Lady has been modified to go through the Panama Canal. So you only do that if you intend on sending the ship through the Panama Canal. So at some point, yes, Virgin Voyages will be in California. I firmly believe that. I don't think they'll ever do Alaska. Because we had Tamika on our YouTube, gosh, probably a month ago now. And she actually said on the show, look, there's a lot of cruise lines that do Alaska really well. You know, what would they have to offer that the other cruise lines don't, other than the adult only experience? But there's like 60 ships in Alaska right now. It's a very crowded market. So one, they probably have a hard time just getting their ship in there, finding the ports and getting that whole schedule set up. Now, the one place that I do see the potential for Virgin going to Alaska is as a one-off, say a repositioning. So they go through the Panama Canal, they go up to Alaska, and then they come down to LA for their season. Or at the end of the LA season, they go up to Alaska, come back down, go through the Panama Canal to the Caribbean. That's always a possibility. Man, this is just weird. I've lost the connection again on TikTok, or at least that's what it's telling me. I don't know. I don't know if y'all are losing it at all, but yeah. Deborah is asking, are they still doing the Disney treasure reveal on Tuesday? Yeah, absolutely. Tuesday, 11 a.m. Actually, we're going to have a watch party on YouTube, or excuse me, on TikTok. Where I'm just going to be watching it. And if anybody wants to watch along with us, we can react to see what we're going to see. But yeah, they did cancel it last week because of the hurricane, obviously. I don't think the hurricane actually affected anything to do with the reveal. It's just the optics would have been bad doing this big reveal while the hurricane was going on. So yeah, so Tuesday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern time. If you want to join us, I'm going to be watching it. And if you want to join us and just kind of react to it as we go, it could be a lot of fun. So Drew, any tips on the Royal Up? Not really. You know, you just apply. You just go ahead and apply into it. Always, as we always tell people, you know, be wary of the upgrade process, Royal Caribbean, any cruise line, because you have no control over where your cabin is going to be. You have to keep in mind, sometimes those cabins that are still available for a reason. You know, it's the ones that we don't want to book. They're near the theater. They're up by the anchor. They're down by the propellers. They're right under the pools where you're going to hear all the dragging and everything. They're right under the restaurants. You know, sometimes those are the cabins that are still available. And the thing is, if they accept your bid, you're going to be moved and your old cabin is now gone. And you can't call them and go, you know what? I don't like my cabin position. Will you move me? No, they're not going to move you. That is it. That is part of the whole bidding process. That's what you agreed to when you went into the bidding process. So absolutely do it if you want to. Just be aware your old cabin might have been in a better position than where your new cabin is.
And I have to say, I have this theory, no proof, mind you, but a theory.
Yeah.
And a lot of this is just kind of a psychological game they're playing. That those cabins aren't, especially suites, those cabins aren't necessarily actually available.
Right.
They're just trying to get you excited about the concept of potentially being in a suite.
Yeah.
So maybe next time you'll actually book that suite.
Mm-hmm. And that's very true. A lot of people don't realize this. They may be giving you an upgrade opportunity for a junior suite, even though the junior suites, A, are sold out, B, they have a wait list. So there's literally none available. What they're hoping, A, somebody is going to cancel, or B, somebody in a junior suite is going to upgrade to a higher suite. So then that opens one up. But it's amazing how often those cabins actually are not even available. The ones that you're actually bidding on, they're just hoping that somebody's going to drop off. So, hey, Bill. Hey, Rick. Oh, my gosh, you're going on to Beyond in April. Woohoo! That is awesome. That is awesome. Hey, Chris Cello, cheers. You're going to be on the Ruby Princess in January. Do I know what the dry dock updates are? I don't offhand. Great website called Cruise Industry News. That's the one that I look at. They literally have the whole dry dock schedule in there for every single cruise line. So that's the one I go to, Cruise Industry News. That's the one I use to go take a look there. So 36 days to the Mediterranean. That is fabulous. Misty's doing a back-to-back on a Carnival Magic. Do we need to move our luggage from one room to the next? So if you're doing multiple rooms on the back-to-back, check with your room steward. Very often the cruise line will help you. Like maybe you just pack it all up and then the room steward's going to move it from one room to another. Just coordinate with the room steward and find out what they're going to do. But most often they generally help you out.
There will be usually some assistance, yes.
Yeah. So
at the very least, you may be able to move the luggage sooner than the rooms are technically available. Yeah, exactly.
So good morning, Jill. How are you? User 950 would love to see winter runs to Hawaii. Yeah, if you're talking about Virgin, I firmly believe the Virgin Voyage is probably going to offer Mexican Riviera and then those Hawaii trips. Probably with overnights that you don't typically see on the other cruise line, because that's what Virgin really leans into. They like to do the overnights that other people don't offer. So that is really, really cool. It is freezing from time to time. I don't know what's going on. We got really good internet here. Hi. What would you recommend for hotels with shuttle service to the ports? Well, number one, I don't know where you're talking about. So that makes a big difference. Most of the hotels, like let's say in the Florida area, most of them are now contracting with third parties. So it's not necessarily the hotel offering it. Like most of the hotels that I know of, they might offer free service from the airport, but they're not offering free service to the ports because the ports are just a mess. They really are a mess sometimes in the morning. So typically when you check into a hotel, you just say, hey, I need a shuttle to the ports. And they're going to say, okay, it's $20 a person, $30 a person, $40 a person, whatever it is. And then it's a third party that actually picks you up with a whole big group. So,
although definitely because those pricings are per person, quite often just getting yourself an Uber or Lyft will be cheaper.
Yeah.
So got to weigh the costs.
Got to. And hey, Bill is on the Norwegian Sky right now. They're in Martha's Vineyard. Hey, that's so awesome, Bill. I hope you're having a fabulous time. Bill, I believe, Bill, you're actually reporting on that one too, right? Bill at B Duff Travels. He is an awesome guy. If you're not following him, please do. That is so incredibly awesome. Debbie, which cruise line do I think is the best for Alaska? Number one, Princess, hands down. Without a doubt, Princess, especially if you want to do a cruise tour. Number two will be Holland America. Those two have been doing it the longest. They have the most sailings that go into Glacier Bay National Park because they have been doing it the longest. And then, maybe after that, it just depends on what you're looking for. But whoever you go on, smaller ship. The bigger ships are not as good in Alaska only because the ports are very, very small. And sometimes the big ships can't get into certain ports that you might want to go to. For instance, Skagway's had a lot of issues with rock slides. But if you watch Stephanie and Ben and David on the Norwegian Spirit, they didn't dock at that particular dock. They docked at a different dock that was away because the Norwegian Spirit is so small. So I definitely recommend smaller. So for sure. Aaron's asking us, what did we both like about Holland? Where did you sail to and which ship? Well, we were on the New Amsterdam. It was a while ago, though, right?
It was Thanksgiving 2012.
So Thanksgiving 2012. So it's been a while. In fact, I was talking to Whitney about this over Holland America. Like, my goodness, we got to get back on. Like, we keep seeing the Rotterdam. But it was Eastern Caribbean, maybe.
I don't even really
It was a Caribbean cruise.
We honestly weren't interested in the port so much. We just wanted to chill.
Yeah, I just wanted to get away for Thanksgiving.
And they had these lovely cabanas you could book for the whole week in advance of the cruise.
Yeah,
and we did that, and we really just kind of chilled for the most part.
We did. And by the way, if you're new to the channel, I'm Walter, your independent travel advisor, and that is my wife Rebecca sitting right off camera, who is my partner in crime in all of this. So we only did the Western, one of the Caribbeans, and it was the cabanas on that ship. There's only a couple of them that have like the cabanas that you can rent for the whole week, and that was like the best chilling.
And I think it's the Eurodam and Newer that have these, but they have some cabanas by the pool But I'd read that the airflow in those wasn't as good. And then they have some other ones that are one level above the pool.
Really nice.
It was really amazing. They came, they brought us fresh fruit and water and
it was just a great week. It's a great week of chilling. So, and this year we'll be on our 4th or 5th Thanksgiving cruise. We love Thanksgiving cruising now because it's just so relaxing. There's no drama about the turkey. There's no drama about everything going on. It's just chill, relax. So this year we're going to be on the Valiant Lady for 8 nights. It's going to be amazing. And we're going to have Thanksgiving dinner in razzle dazzle. So I cannot wait. Thoughts on the NCL Jade? We have not sailed on her, but great ship, small ship. We've got a bunch of folks who are going out on the Pearl. Obviously, we sent Stephanie out on the Spirit. And I think we've got some people on one of, actually, I think the Jade might be the one that we've got some guests going out of Tampa on next year. So great ship, small ship. Just keep in mind, doesn't have all of the water slides and all the stuff for kids. So if you're going with families, keep in mind, it's more of an adult-centric ship. Doesn't have all of that stuff. Still going to have all the fun trivia and all of that, but it doesn't have all the water slides and everything. So yeah. Good morning, Joe. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Time for fun. Still deciding on dates at work. Oh, cool. Yeah, definitely get out. Just watching. Want to go on a cruise so bad, but so expensive. So that all depends on the cruise you're looking at. I can send you out for a week for probably about $500 per person on MSC. You're going to have a great time. Carnival, we can send you out quite inexpensively as well. So it's expensive. Like, Icon of the Seas, $3,500 per person to be on an interior. That's expensive. Yeah. But cruising doesn't have to be expensive. That's why you work with a travel advisor like myself. I mean, our services are free, so you're not paying anything extra for us. You give us the budget. I mean, I've been sending out clients for around $1,000 for 2 people for 7 nights. That's actually quite inexpensive. So over here, Edward is asking, you're leaving on Alaska cruise next week. How warm does Discovery Princess keep the swimming pools in Alaska? Are all 4 kept the same temperature? I don't even know if Discovery has heated pools. I know that the Sapphire did. It had one heated pool in the center, because when we were on the ship, we were in Glacier Bay. I'll never forget this, or College Fjord, one or the other. And there was a guy swimming laps while we're all in winter clothes looking at the glaciers. So I don't know for sure if any of those are. I've never looked into it, I'll be honest. But I can almost guarantee that not all of them are heated. If anything, probably just one is going to be heated. And generally, if there's going to be one heated, it's just going to be the main one in the center. Discovery doesn't have one on the aft. That's like the Sky Princess, because we didn't have one on the aft, I don't think. But I don't know if Discovery has any heated at all. If any, it's probably just going to be the one. And it would be the main one that I know of. Greg is leaving on the Royal Princess Saturday for your Alaska cruise. I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh, Alaska, it's amazing. Good morning, Jen. How are you? How are you? Good morning, Julie. How are you? Pilot James, you and your wife love Thanksgiving cruises. Been on many. I tell you, Thanksgiving is great. Thanksgiving is absolutely great on a cruise ship. I do love it. And I miss Boogle Bud is going on the Escape. Oh, the Escape, one of our favorite restaurants at sea. Food Republic. We literally ate there 3 times on a 7-night cruise. Such a great ship. A lot of fun. Let's see. You're going on the Escape in November as well. Valerie is. Nice. Favorite ship we've been on. I don't necessarily, my favorite ship is the one I'm on, whichever one I happen to be on. But I'll tell you my favorite cruise. It's definitely Alaska. I mean, hands down, Alaska. We were on land for 7 days. Princess owns, I think, 5 lodges, maybe 6 lodges throughout Alaska. And so it was a Princess, from the moment we landed at baggage claim in Fairbanks, Princess was in control of our bags, and we're staying in their hotels for 7 days. And then we went on the ship for 7 days. Best cruise ever. I don't really have a favorite cruise ship. I love them all. I mean, I know some people are loyal to a certain cruise line. They want to go on the same cruise line all the time. And I get it, I guess. I just get bored. I get bored going on the same cruise line. Like, we did 3 Celebrities in a row, I think it was. And I was like, man, I got to go on another cruise line. I love Celebrity. Oh, man, I love Celebrity. Just like, I need something different. You just kind of get on and it's the same thing. And even though it's a beautiful same thing, I need something else. So I don't have a favorite ship. I honestly don't. I think One of my favorite new cruise lines, certainly Virgin Voyages. I love that they've gotten rid of all the nickel and diming. It's not so much about being adults only. It's just that when we pay our cruise fare, we've been on the Scarlet Lady twice, or 3 times now. I can't even remember. Twice. And we haven't paid a dime once we got on the ship, other than the premium beverages. You know, we didn't pay for any food. We didn't pay for anything. You know, the soft drinks were included. So I do like that trend. I like that. I wish more cruise lines would certainly do that. Fred is asking, has Royal Caribbean always had 16 and up for their adult-only solarium? My wife thinks it should be at least 18. It's been 16
and
for a while.
That's quite common for most of the cruise lines. Actually, Carnival's kind of the one outlier.
Yeah.
Their adult solarium is actually 21.
It is 21 and up. Absolutely. So, yeah. Yes, most of them are 16.
18 should,
yeah, we think it should be 18, maybe even 21. But yeah, that's kind of the way it's been since we've been there. Good morning, Susie. How are you? I hope you're having a great time in California. Susie is one of my KHM travel group colleagues. So good to see you, Susie. And I'm going to see you in January on the Icon of the Seas. Cannot wait. We're doing water slides. That's it. We're going to do water slides the whole time. I've already told Jim to get ready to go on water slides.
And Red Bull. Nothing but Red Bull.
Nothing but Red Bull. So let's see. Julie, you've already booked your second cruise on a Carnival celebration. I think you're saying celebration. Yeah, the Carnival celebration. 6 days for you. Yay! Sharon, can you pay for daycare while you do an excursion? That depends on the ship.
Most of the time, you're not actually, well, depending on the age of your child and the facilities on the ship, you're just signing them into the kids club and leaving them in the kids club while you leave the ship.
Correct.
But there are definitely rules for that.
There's rules about parents leaving the ship while the kids are. I don't know.
No, the kid. You can leave the kids if you. Most of them.
Both parents can leave the ship with the kids in the child.
It may depend ship to ship.
I think it may depend on the ship.
It's the kids can't leave without the parent. The kids can't get off the ship without the parents.
I just didn't know in case of an emergency if one of the parents always has to be on board.
I think you do have to have they have to have a way to contact you.
There we go. So basically, just check with the ship. You know, when you're on the ship, you know, go to the kids club and just ask them, what are the rules? Can I just dump my kid here and leave the ship? Let's put it that way. We want to go away and we don't want the kids. Can we leave them here?
Well, you may want to do something that they're either not old enough to do or not interested in. But often there is some provision for leaving them in the kids club.
But just
have to check the rules.
Check the rules, but don't just dump them and run, because that would be bad. You're going on the Panorama. Fabulous. Valerie, you're going to Alaska next year. Princess, Holland, or Royal? You know, like I just said, Princess would be number 1 for us. Holland number 2. Royal, if you're going on a smaller ship, definitely stick to the smaller ship. Certainly reach out. We'd be more than happy to help you. We have sent a lot of people to Alaska. User 2473 Kath. Hey, how are you? No worries. No worries. Give a call any single time. Going on to Venezia in 2025. I really want to go on to Carnival Venezia. I really want to sail out of New York City. That's going to be a lot of fun. Kurt is asking, does Virgin do airfare to San Juan? They do airfare everywhere. However, like wherever their ports are, they will fly you there. However, I've not found Virgin to be a good deal in terms of airfare. They seem to be quite high. Princess or Easy Air can be like within $100 of the standard fare. I've seen Virgin like $500, $600, $700 more than what I see elsewhere. So yeah, they do it. I don't generally do it for my clients because it's usually way up there. Aaron, does the bar tab on Virgin include premium beverages? Well, that's an interesting question. The bar tab on Virgin Voyages includes anything. That's why literally a bar tab, huh?
Beverage-wise.
Yeah, well, he's just saying premium beverages. So it literally includes anything. So it's just $300 or $600, whatever your bar tab is. If you want to buy a $300 shot, you buy a $300 shot. They just run it against your bill. There's none of this. Oh, you get top tier shelf. You get bottom tier shelf. Oh, you get this version of rum. You don't get that version of rum. You get anything you want. It's just $300 or it's $600. Whatever your bar tab is, it just goes against whatever it is you're charging. And I wish every cruise line would do the Virgin Voyages bar tab. I like that drink package more than any other drink package at sea. Yay. Valerie 1776, you're doing the Mardi Gras for Thanksgiving 2024 with the kids. That should be a lot of fun. I tell you what, the thing you got to keep in mind with the family-based cruise line, there's going to be a lot of kids. Okay, we went on the Symphony of the Seas December 17th to the 24th. So that was like the lead up right to Christmas. We got off the ship on Christmas Eve.
Our second Thanksgiving cruise was on Freedom of the Seas.
Yeah, Freedom of the Seas. And so, you're going to have a lot of kids. We had over 1,000 kids on the Freedom of the Seas on our Thanksgiving cruise. It was a bit of a madhouse. I'll be honest. It really was.
Last day.
Yeah, but I will say, like on the Freedom of the Seas compared to Symphony of the Seas, Symphony was so big that it spread everybody out. So on Freedom, it definitely felt a little bit more crowded than it did on Symphony, just because Symphony's such a big ship. So there definitely was a difference there. But, you're going on the Mardi Gras, big family cruise line. There's going to be a lot of kids on there. So just be prepared for that. Go up to the sanctuary, 21 and over. You're going to really enjoy it up there, getting away from all the kids for sure. Hey, Becky, how are you? Good morning. Oh, you're getting close to your Princess Cruise already. Only 234 days. Love it. Funshine Collins, ship to ship difference. I am not really sure.
I'm thinking the kids club thing.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Small town, South Carolina. You're just getting off the Discovery Princess in Seattle. Went to Alaska. Wonderful cruise and ship. I'll tell you what. That royal class of ship, we did the Sky Princess a few months ago. Wow, what a ship. What a ship. I mean, A, beautiful ship. 2, I forgot how good the Princess service is. 3, buffet, probably the best buffet I've ever seen. Main dining room, just amazing service, great food, just all around. And I forgot how good the attention to detail is on Princess. We had an issue with our Sabatini's meal. And the next night, man, the dining captain came over. He found us. He talked to us. And then the rest of the cruise, he offered us a meal in the Crown Grill, which we accepted. He comes out with the chef, talks to us, and then the rest of the cruise, he's checking in on us. Hey, is everything going okay? Is everything? Man, Princess service is just so top notch, so wonderful. What's the best way to text? I assume you mean text on a ship. So some of the apps have a text feature. Carnival has it. Disney has it.
Some of them you have to pay for. Some are free.
Some of them, like Disney, it comes with it. Carnival, it was $5 per person, and that's a great $5 well spent. If you have Wi-Fi, you can always use like Facebook Messenger, or WhatsApp or something like that. But I have found, like on some ships, like actual texting works. Usually texting works if everybody has the same model of phone. Everybody has an Apple. Everybody has an Android. Usually you can text between each other on a ship using the Wi-Fi. But it's when you have to mix Android and Apple together, sometimes it doesn't always work. So I would recommend using either Facebook, WhatsApp, things like that. So Sharon, cost of a Disney cruise to Alaska. Well, that depends on when you're going and what ship. So literally.
Well, they only send one ship to Alaska.
Yeah. So it just depends on when you're going. I don't know offhand. So if you want to reach out, I'd be more than happy to set you up. And also, I don't know how many people you're talking about and what the ages are of everybody and where you live, because even that can come into play. Sometimes you get discount. Like if you live up in the Washington area, you actually get a discount on a lot of the Alaska cruises. So, yeah, so just if you want pricing, I'll be more than happy to do it. You just need to reach out. Where's WalterTravel.com, or you can click the little link in my logo, and that will take you to a Contact Us link. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you just go into the Contact Us link, and I'll be more than happy to help you out as well. Yeah, VV is amazing. Valerie loves it. You're welcome, Julie, and certainly reach out if we can help you. John, the MSC Seascape. So we went on the Seaside. Seascape is the newest of them. So there's the Seaside and the Sea. What are the first two? So the Seashore and the Seascape are the new ones. It's the Seaside and
Seaview, I think.
Seaview. So we went on the Seaside. That's the original ship. And there's a whole playlist on TikTok. There is a full playlist coming to YouTube as soon as I get it done. But we had a great time. So the thing about MSC that you have to understand, it is one of the lowest, if not the lowest cost cruise line out there right now. Very low cost. So there is a trade-off. If you go on to MSC expecting it to be like Royal Caribbean, expecting it to be like Norwegian, expecting it to be like Carnival, it's not. It's its own cruise line. So certain things have to give. Now, I thought the buffet in the main dining room was a better experience than what we got on the Carnival Mardi Gras, was a better experience than what we got on the Norwegian Escape and the Norwegian Getaway. Just that. Now, in terms of specialty dining, Norwegian specialty dining is just unreal. I thought the MSC specialty dining, we did the Asian market, so we did 3 meals in there, and it was excellent. It was excellent. The entertainment was entertaining. Okay, it's not the best. Royal and Norwegian, they have outstanding, especially Royal. Royal had just amazing entertainment. So the entertainment, it was good. Some of the live music was pretty good. Now, where MSC was really strong, the pools. They had a lot of them. They were big. They were deep. The jungle pool was saltwater, which was kind of fun. So the pools were fabulous. The crew, fabulous. Really good crew. The pizza, amazing. But there's certain trade-offs. The bars weren't as good. The coffee was amazing. Italian Cruise Line coffee was absolutely amazing. So there's trade-off. The room was great. I mean, there was no complaints about the room. We were up in the deck 15, up near the front, and I was a little concerned. Not concerned about seasickness or anything like that, but I'm like, wow, I wonder how much the ship's going to move, because we were on a 7-night from Port Canaveral. We did the Western Caribbean. I swear the ship didn't rock at all. It was so smooth, even being up on deck 15. And I flat out loved Ocean Key. Just loved it. I like it more than Coco Cay, personally. Coco Cay is gorgeous. It's got all those things to do. Ocean Key, it's just very low key. It's very natural. I really enjoyed it. I loved it for what it was. So now that we went on MSC Seaside because we've seen so much negativity, so many bad reviews out there. With like, we need to go on the ship to see for ourselves and whether we would recommend it to one of our clients. So we did, and now we do recommend it to our clients. But what we do is, we give the caveats, right? So it's a lower cost cruise line. The shows are okay. They're not great. The ship might be a little confusing to get around. But in terms of overall cruise enjoyment, we gave it a 7. But in terms of value, we gave it an 8.5, because for what you're paying for it, you're getting a lot of value out of it. So yeah, as long as you know what you're getting into when you go to the MSC, it's a great cruise line. Is it the best cruise line out there? Not necessarily, but in terms of value, it's a great value. It certainly is. Ray, you need a cheap cruise to Cozumel. Any suggestion? 3 to 7 days is fine. I mean, cheap to Cozumel, that's everybody. Royal has cheap cruises, Carnival, MSC.
Although generally the 3, at least from Florida, the 3 and 4 day cruises are not going to go to Cozumel. No. You probably have to have at least 5 days.
Yeah, I think maybe Galveston, they might go there in 3 days. I don't know.
I don't know what the short cruises are like.
The short cruises from Florida are usually to Bahamas.
Yeah.
They don't get down to Cozumel. So,
but if you have 5 days, they might.
5 days they might, but probably if you're just looking for straight up cheap, probably MSC, Carnival, maybe Royal Caribbean, maybe Norwegian. They're going to be good. And there we go. So wow, quiet. So one of the things that we've been talking about this week here is the new celebrity all-included package, which is kind of an oxymoron that they call it all-inclusive. So
it kind of always was.
Yeah.
It's always even more so.
Yeah. So Ocean's saying that the MSC Mirabilia is cheaper to get to out of Boston. It's cheaper out of Boston, hard to get to. It's funny. I've heard a lot of interesting talk about the Brooklyn terminal. Some people are saying that it is actually not the best for embarkation, disembarkation. We've not been up to Brooklyn yet. We haven't even been up to New York yet to get out on a cruise. I really want to. Like I said, I want to get up on the Venezia very badly. The Mirabilia came out of the gates with really, really good reviews. The reviews have kind of like gone back and forth now since you've been up there for a while. It looks like a stunning ship. I mean, an absolutely stunning ship. Again, you have to take the good with the bad. You have to understand what you're getting into. When you pay a lot less for a cruise, you can't expect everything with less cost. I mean, there's a reason why Royal Caribbean charges so much. There's a reason why Royal Caribbean shows are so good, because they have the money to invest towards them and all the staging. Norma is saying that she loved the Star Walker show on the seaside. You know, we actually had to walk out of that show, and it wasn't because of the show itself. It was just because it was so loud. That was the one thing that they were doing in the Seaside, is like the show would start out at a certain volume and then it kept getting louder as it went. And it was just to the point of where it was really overdriving. So it was actually uncomfortable to sit there and watch the show.
And I was wearing earplugs.
Yeah, she was wearing earplugs.
I still thought it was too loud.
Yeah.
I'm sensitive. I'll admit that. But
yeah. But it was
I couldn't take it.
You know, it was actually kind of giving us a headache. So we unfortunately had to walk out of that show. It looked like a great show. We did make it through Peter Punk, which was kind of an amusing show, right? It's just a weird show. But so what? It's just kind of a weird show. But we enjoyed that. But the Star Walker show was the one I was hoping. I was kind of looking forward to seeing it. And it was just a little bit too loud. And that was the thing that we noticed in that theater every night, is the way they were managing the sound in that theater was not the best. And I think we were kind of spoiled too by Princess. Princess is amazing with their theater, and Virgin Voyages just has the best sound of anybody out there. So it looked like a great show, though. I'm glad you had a good time. The glitch that happened with the Carnival Cheers packet, that was hilarious. I hope nobody at IT got fired. That was just kind of funny. If you didn't see what happened, Carnival accidentally priced their Cheers package for the entire week for the price of one day. And of course, it was a big mistake. It blew up on social media. A whole bunch of people bought it. And then Carnival, canceled everybody's package. But they did turn around and give a discount to those people who had actually bought it at that price. So that was something that they didn't have to do. I thought it was actually kind of nice of Carnival to do it. But of course, if something is too good to be true, it probably is. And that was one of those cases. So Dog Day saying, tired of a tiered cruise pricing. Yeah, well, the tiered cruise pricing is not going anywhere, I don't think. We've always had tiered cruise pricing, if you think about it. Suites, balcony, ocean view, inside, those have always been tiered pricing, right? And now we've got packages that are added on top of that. And packages have been around for a long time, to be honest with you. Drink packages have been around for a long time. Wi-Fi packages have been around for a long time. Combo packages of Wi-Fi drinks have been around for a long time. So that whole tiered pricing has been around for quite some time.
If you're tired of that, Virgin.
Yeah, Virgin Voyages would be, if you're tired of all the packages out there, Virgin Voyages, you just go on there, it's one price, and all you got to do is pay for the drinks. They have made it super easy. Talking about tiered pricing, that's what I would love to see some of the other cruise lines do. It's like, hey, you know what? You can get the cruise fare, or you can do what Virgin does, and we're going to give you everything except the premium bevies. So I think that would be really good. So Ocean saying, how do we check for cruise lines trying to fill cabins for cheap? Hardly any of them are filling cabins for cheap anymore. Cruising is white hot. So prices are going up instead of going down. So we don't, all we do is we check the fares. We try to check maybe once a month-ish just to see if the cabins have gone down for any of our clients. That's pretty much all we do. Any good, bad reviews on a Norwegian Joy renovations coming in early 2024? Yeah, she's getting a big makeover on the Norwegian Joy. If you have not seen, Norwegian Joy has an interesting history. She was originally made for the Asian market. She didn't make it there because there's a superstition apparently in Asia about ships that have already been in the water and then are renamed after they've been in the water. And that's what happened with the Norwegian Joy. She was renamed. And so she didn't really make it in Asia. So they renovated her once, brought her over to the States, and now they're going to give her a good stem to stern renovation. So we've actually not booked anybody on the Joy. We proposed the Joy multiple times, but I don't think we've actually booked anybody on the Joy itself. She's basically a breakaway class, I believe, and which we love the breakaway class. We've been on the Getaway. We've been on the Escape. Loved those ships. Had a fabulous time on those ships. But I don't know anything specific about the Joy. If you're waiting to go on her, at this point, I might just say, I'm going to book it after the renovation, book it 2 months after the renovation so that she's going to come out of dry dock on time. That would be my only advice for you. User 631, you're going out on the 14-day Sky Princess Caribbean trip in December out of Fort Lauderdale. Any recommendations? Oh, man, what a great ship. Number one, I have a playlist on TikTok and YouTube. So I got a full food tour on there. I got our cabin tour on there. So certainly go check those things out. But number one, the Crown Grill, we weren't even going to go there. and we only went because we had a make good offer from the dining captain because of a little situation that happened in Sabatini's. Wow, Crown Grill could be the best steakhouse I've been to at sea. Period. It was just flat out amazing. The Good Spirit Bar is a nice addition too. It's a nice craft bar right in the middle of the piazza. If Elliot is there from England, Elliot is just one of the most fun bartenders I've ever met on a cruise ship. He was fabulous. I've actually got videos of him. I was able to put the microphone on him and get him to make a couple drinks for me, which was fabulous. What else? Know that if you're going to Belize, and anybody who's going to Belize City that's listening to this, Belize, the ships are going to tender from about 45 minutes away from the port. You're way out there. And I actually commented that, oh my gosh, we're way out here. And it was like one of the crew members or somebody was next to me and said, look down. And I did. And you could see the silt kicking up from the ship. And I mean, we were like way out from shore. I was like, holy crap, it's shallow. He goes, yeah, it's really shallow here. And so the ships are going to be way out. So if you're on a cruise, it's going to Belize City, doesn't matter which cruise line. That's the one place that I would say book a shore excursion through the cruise line, because you will be on the first boats that leave the ship to go to shore. If you're not, if you're just going to be on your own, you've got to wait till all of the ship's shore excursions get off the ship and go to shore before your group is going to start going out there. I think Belize City is a great opportunity to do a ship day. Just stay on the ship, relax, because I was watching, once I saw how far we were, I saw one of the tender boats pull up. It sat there for a good 30, 35 minutes while they were loading it up. And then I watched it go, and it was a good 45 minutes till it got to shore. I mean, until it was out of sight from me that I couldn't see it moving anymore. So that's like almost an hour and a half of just getting onto the tender boat, getting to shore, and then you got to reverse that coming back out. So, I mean, you're losing like 3 hours of time if you do both sides of that in Belize City. And it's a necessity because of the shallowness. Now, we did see that there was an island right near the ship, and supposedly they're going to be building something there that's going to be some sort of a transfer between the ships and shore. So everybody's going to go to that island, and then maybe there's going to be a high-speed boat going in. I don't know what they're doing, but you could see that they were building something. And at first I thought, well, maybe that's a private home. And somebody, one of the crew or somebody said, oh, that's going to be something in the future for the cruise ship. So maybe it's going to get better. Maybe it's going to get better. So how are the interior rooms on Royal Caribbean Deck 7? Well, which ship are you talking about? You know, they only have 27. In fact, we just got the latest book from Royal Caribbean. This is the book that they send us to the travel agent. So there's 27 ships that will be out there as of the Icon. I think 28 as of the Utopia. So there's a lot of ships. So which ship are you talking about? The interior rooms are fine.
I will say Stephanie has stayed in quite a few Royal Caribbean interior rooms.
Yes, Stephanie on the Sean Stef channel, which there is a link on TikTok. I don't know if I put the link in YouTube yet, but I will. We are an official travel partner with the Sean Stef channel. We are a proud sponsor with Stephanie and all of Stephanie's travels. We are also now a travel partner with Cruise with Ben and David. Very proud of that partnership. We booked the entire cruise with Ben and David inaugural group cruise that's going to be on the Valiant Lady next year. So so check the Sean Stef channel. I don't think Ben and David ever stay in interiors. They're usually in a balcony, but Steph definitely had. Why are the pools so small and no tables or umbrellas? Well, number one, there are umbrellas. Number two, they're small because of weight.
Well, not every pool has umbrellas.
Yeah, but there are umbrellas out there, some of them, but you know, the umbrellas blow away. Yeah. That's a big problem because when the ship is moving, you know, the ship is moving 20 knots. That's a pretty good breeze blowing across the ship, so they're going to move. But the pools are small because they're heavy. The water is a lot of weight on the ship, and anytime they make a pool, they have to either put them right on the center beam, or like Royal Caribbean, they'll have matching pools on both sides, so it all evens out. But that's why they're small. That's why they're usually shallow. That's why the ones on MSC were so surprising. They were 6 feet deep. That's a lot of water, a lot of weight that they're carrying. But that's one of the main reasons why the pools are usually small, because there's a lot of weight. So Cha was on the Joy in 2019. Love it. What's our favorite Disney ship? Well, we've only been on the Fantasy so far and loved it. Oh my God, loved it. It was so amazing Best dinner I think I've ever had, land or sea. The Remy, I still remember it to this day. It was our 10th anniversary? 20th anniversary.
Our 10th was our first cruise.
That's right. Our 10th was our first cruise. I should remember that. That was on the Caribbean Princess. But our 20th anniversary was on the Disney Fantasy. And it was amazing. I mean, simply amazeballs. So, the Disney Wish, obviously, the thing I don't like about the Wish is that it's a 3 and a 4. So you're spending all this money and you're not really going to get a chance to see everything on it. So now if you're saying, well, Royal Caribbean's doing the same thing with the Utopia. Well, they also have Oasis class ship that you can go do 7 nights. Currently, we don't have one like the Wish that can do 7 nights. So I think the Fantasy and the Dream are just amazing. Now the Wonder, I think it was the Wonder, or is it Magic? Just got that whole overview. One of them just got a whole renovation on them. So they're all great ships. Disney, believe it or not, is excellent for adults as well. Excellent service, excellent food. And the reason why Virgin Voyages is so good is because the CEO used to be the CEO of Disney. He's brought a lot of that over to Virgin Voyages. So best cruise line for Alaska Cruise, Princess. Princess, get on one of the smaller ships. Absolutely, get on one of the smaller ships. Dog Dave brings up a good point. One of the reasons why the cruise lines are readjusting and all these fees are happening and this, that, and the other, because they bled out for about 18 to 24 months during the pandemic. It cost money to run ships. Those ships were not just simply tied up. You put a tarp over them and everybody goes home. You can't do that like you do with a car. You have to keep these ships running. If you actually tie them up, it costs more to get them restarted than if you just keep them running. So even with a skeleton crew, there's still fuel, there's still food, you still got to pay salaries for the people who are still on board. So it costs a lot of money to run those ships during the pandemic, not to mention all the money that they had to refund back to everybody. So yeah, so you did a great idea, buying a lot of stock during COVID. And then the cruise lines are not out of the red. You keep hearing about, Royal Caribbean's having a record month, Princess is having a record month. Yeah, they're having a record month, but they still have a long way to go until they're all going to be operating in the black again. So that is one of the reasons why. Now, I think cruising will self-correct at some point. They can't just keep going up, because they're going to start pricing. Ben and David just put up a great video on Royal Caribbean, and they're like, Royal Caribbean going to start pricing people out of things. There's only so far you can go with that. And then they're going to start seeing people not booking. And then, cruises are going to have to self-correct. So at some point within the next couple of years, we should start seeing cruising recorrect, and you might start to see things get back to where maybe it used to be. So Philip is saying with cases going up again, you don't want to see cruising pause. The big difference between now and then is we have the vaccines now. So I don't think you're going to see cruising pause again. You might see some ports or some countries that say, you know what, we're going to put a pause on you visiting us. But I think it's going to take a lot at this point.
Or some countries or ports requiring either testing and or vaccines.
Right. Like Australia just eliminated the vaccine testing, like literally like within the past couple of months. So, yeah. Jill wants to know what is the best and trusted land travel company. We have a disorganized travel agent right now. Well, I'm sorry about that. We could certainly help you out with that. We have about 6 or 7 different land partners that we work with. I mean, of course, there's Talk. Everybody knows Talk. They're a great one. Adventures by Disney is a good one. But I don't know where you're going. Depending on where you're going, we have about 5 or 6 different land partners that we work with. I've got a couple going on a pre-planned tour in Europe. We're talking to some folks about Africa right now. I've got some folks that we're talking to about Scotland. So it just depends on where you want to go. There are multiple good land travel partners out there. I mean, we'd be happy to help you out with that, obviously. But there are quite a few out there. Now, depending on how many people are going, yeah, it can be a lot. Like I just put 140 people on the Valiant Lady, and it is a lot to manage. You need to be able to, have good systems in place, good management in place to be able to deal with that many people while also still maintaining the rest of our clients, which we're doing. So, yeah, there is no best and trusted land travel company. There's companies that are good for different things. So depending on where you're going, how many people you're going with, what you're trying to get out of the tour, it's just like, it's literally just like cruising. you know, so we have different land partners. So I don't have any one in particular, but you know, like I said, I'd be happy to reach out. But Talk is the one that a lot of people know. I mean, they're really good in Africa. They're good in Europe. They do river cruises as well. Really, really good companies. So Aaron's asking about pizza on MSC or pizza on Virgin. I just say, yeah, they're both really good. They're both really, really good. Becky's going on the Coral Princess in 2025 in Alaska. I can't wait till you guys get up there. It's going to be amazing. And Rick was on the Caribbean Princess for your 25th anniversary year ago. Loved it. That was our very first cruise, Caribbean Princess, our very first cruise. That's what got it all started. So, Joe, you did the snorkeling in Belize. That is fabulous. Ocean's asking if the passport card satisfactory for cruise East Coast cruise returning back to the same port. Is that a cruise line decision?
You definitely want to check with your individual cruise line, but it should be good depending on the port that you're going to. But definitely check with your cruise line or travel agent. Yeah,
check with it. Every cruise line has an FAQ, and every cruise line has something about, you know, identification, what you need to bring to the ports. So definitely check that out, or just have your travel agent check it out for you. So, yes, all Disney cruises are amazing, or all Disney ships are amazing. Frosty Girl, you haven't been on a cruise in ages. Good cruise to go on for you and the hubby. That all depends on what you're looking for. So obviously, if you're leaning into adults, you want something adult-centric, you're going to lean into, obviously, Virgin Voyages, 18 plus. Pretty much all inclusive. Once you pay your cruise fare on Virgin, the only thing you got to pay for is the premium beverages. That's it. And the shore excursion. And then, of course, Celebrity, great cruise line. Princess, great cruise line. Holland America, great cruise line. So those are the four that I would probably start with in terms of if you're looking for something a little bit more adult-centric, just for you and the hubby. And then beyond that, you're asking, well, what cruise to go on? I don't know where you want to go. If you're going to sail out of New York, you're going to sail out of Baltimore, you're going to sail out of Florida, New Orleans, Texas, Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, Seattle. There's so many places to sail out of. So it just depends on when you want to go and where you want to go out of. I certainly would get on at least a 7 days so you guys can just chill. And then, of course, you know, MSC, right? So I was talking a little earlier about how MSC is lower cost. You can get in the yacht club on MSC for about the price of a Royal Caribbean balcony. And that is 24-hour butler, concierge service. You get your own lounge, you get your own restaurant, you get your own pool. So it is like the Haven experience, but for the cost of a Royal Caribbean balcony. So that is always an experience. And we have sent quite a few people now into there, or we've had clients, you know, reaching out to us going, hey, we want to try this because it looked amazing. So you have that experience as well. Like if you just want to chill and just be pampered for a week, hey, MSC Yacht Club, I'm telling you, man. And those guys are honest to goodness butlers. Apparently they are European trained butlers. So could always do something like that too. So inside, yeah, Alaska Inside Passage is amazing. P&R Horse Farm, you've only sailed Disney, service will be hard to beat. So it'll be interesting to see what you guys think of Virgin when you get on the ship.
I'll tell you, the nice thing about Virgin is that the crew members can be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to cover up tattoos. They don't have to take out piercings.
They don't even have to wear gender-specific uniforms.
Yeah.
They can wear whatever they want. Yeah. It is cool. And it's a lot of fun.
Nice. I mean, service is pretty similar. I mean,
yeah.
Obviously some crew members are better than others, but
obviously. And the other thing about Virgin too is if you're on the ship, you can actually invite crew members to come sit with you at dinner if you'd like. You will see crew members, you know, not on a full ship probably, but on ships where there's room available, you'll actually see crew members all sitting and having dinner. Or if you just see a couple, you can invite them over to your table and have dinner with you, which is actually kind of cool. I do love that. James McFeely, good morning. Thank you for all you do. Oh, that's very kind. I appreciate that. Mama Donna, you normally cruise Princess. You booked the Carnival Mardi Gras due to dates in January. Will I regret it? Well, you know.
Don't expect it to be Princess.
Yeah, so don't expect it to be Princess. And of course, you're going to have a lot of kids. You know, even in January, comparatively to Princess, you know, on Princess, you go on a cruise. If you have 100 kids on there, that's a lot. And that's usually like up in Alaska. Like up in Alaska, you will have maybe a couple hundred kids on board because that's a big family cruise. But in the Caribbean, you're going to have some kids on the ship, but on Carnival, it's like kind of normal to have about 500 kids on the ship. So that will be different. The food in the main dining room is not going to be like Princess. I'll tell you that right now. We were disappointed by the food in the main dining room. However, they have come out with a whole new menu. We haven't been on since that new menu came out. It looks really good, to be honest with you. Rudy Sea Grill is amazing. If you want a great seafood restaurant, totally worth whatever they're charging. It is amazing. The Sanctuary up in the front has an amazing salad bar. That's 21 and over, just so you know. And it does have a pool. It does have a hot tub. Did it have a hot tub? I can't remember.
We don't use hot tubs.
Definitely had a pool up there and lots of seating. And actually quite a bit of shade. If you stay on the opposite side of the ship from the sun, there's actually quite a bit of shade. Shack Big Chicken is fabulous. Blue Iguana is really, really good. The pizza is actually really, really good. You're going to be blown away by how good the pizza is. The shows in the main Grand Central look like they're amazing, but the seating is awful. So you've got to be there like 2 hours early for the first show, and then you've got to be there at the end of the first show so you can try to slip in and get a seat. That's not good. The theater is great. The theater is really good. Shows are okay. They're not Princess quality. Princess has much better shows in the theater. But overall, you have to accept the Mardi Gras for what it is. It's not Princess. Don't go in there comparing it to Princess, because you really can't. It's a totally different experience. Carnival is a family cruise line. Princess says they're a family cruise line, but they really are an adult cruise line. I mean, they're adult-centric. So we had a great time on the Mardi Gras. We've been on 9 different cruise lines. We love Princess. We had a great time on the Mardi Gras as well. So accept the Mardi Gras for what it is. It's going to be a fun ship. Oh, trivia is great. Their fun squad, they really are fun. I mean, they're a lot of fun. They do a lot of great trivia, things like that. I don't think you're going to regret it. You're only going to regret it if you keep comparing everything to Princess. So just don't compare it to Princess. Just take it for what it is and have a great time. That's all I would say. Edward, great question. Are Virgin Voyages weird beds actually comfortable? Well, they're not so much weird, except they split differently. The ones in the standard cabins are not as comfortable as beds that we've been in on other cruise lines, because they're more like sofa beds, or more like sofas that split open. The beds in the suites are amazing because those are real beds. They're really, really good. But the ones in the standard cabin are definitely stiffer because the mattress is not very thick. So I was able to sleep on them. Rebecca wasn't as excited about it. Now we're going to be sleeping on them again for 8 nights in November. So it's not stopping us from going on the cruise for sure.
And you do have to be aware, if you don't want they really don't do the change it from sofa to bed, and that kind of went out really quickly.
They don't at all unless you request it. The only time that they change it back into a sofa is if you request it.
But you do have to be aware, if you want it as 2 single beds, it's in an L shape.
Yeah, it's like
so it's like not this. It's not
like
side
this.
By side like
like normally lines. You got 2 beds side by side. The way they do it is an L. It's just the way they've configured the room. I'm hoping that maybe they'll get rid of that later.
You can get the steward to set it up so that you're head to head, foot to foot, or head to foot, however you want to do it. Yeah. And there is a little barrier between the L's that they have.
Yeah. It seems like everyone's getting angry about everything being extra money and not included. I mean, it's the way of the world, right? It doesn't matter where you go anymore. If you go to the stadiums, if you go to theme parks, everything is kind of changing. But nobody is saying that you have to. Nobody says you have to go get a specialty meal. The only thing that
you have to get a drink package.
Yeah, you don't have to get a drink package. You don't have to get anything at all. When we went on MSC, we bought the dining package for the one thing, and then I only paid $7 for each of those affogatos. Holy crap, that was amazing. So you're welcome, Frost Girl.
And just so you know, DC is saying, I think you can ask for a topper. On Virgin, we hear that they do not have mattress toppers available.
Yes, that's what we've been told, that they don't have mattress toppers. So a lot of cruise lines have mattress toppers, but we've been told that they don't.
I mean, not MSC, Virgin.
Yeah.
On Virgin, they don't have mattress toppers available. So
yeah. Let's see. Some of the cruise lines will nickel and dime you. Nessie saying you love the diversity. I know, trying all the different cruise lines. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, Peggy, I can't wait till you guys get on Virgin. Let's see. What about the cost for Wi-Fi? So the cost for Wi-Fi depends on the ship. Obviously, it may even depend on the itinerary too, because you'll see different prices for different itineraries. Royal Caribbean is famous for like literally every single day the price is different. But some of them just kind of say, like Princess pretty much has a standard price. I want to say it's around.
They're referring to Cunard specifically.
Yeah. No, I see that.
Okay.
But it just depends on the itinerary sometimes and on the ship themselves. Also, I don't know the price of Cunard's Wi-Fi offhand. They are a Carnival company, so it probably Princess is around $16 a day, I think. I think Carnival is around $16 or $15 a day, so it's probably in that same range. Might be a little bit more because they are Cunard, but I don't know the price offhand. I'm sorry. I wish I did. You're welcome, Edward. I'm glad I could help. You know, Carnival is actually a great cruise line. I see that people like to rag on them, but they're a fabulous cruise line. NCL, yes, they're great. What's our favorite type of cabin on a ship? Well, a balcony. I love balconies. What I actually love about them is sitting outside at night, looking up at the stars. It's a lot of fun. But the junior, I think my favorite cabin on a ship, really, it's the junior suite on Royal Caribbean. It's a great cabin. It's like double the width. You get a larger balcony. I think of all the, obviously the cheeky corner suite on Scarlet Lady is this is my favorite cabin we've ever had. But my favorite type of cabin is actually the junior suite on Royal Caribbean. I think it's actually a really good deal, a good value if you can get it at the right price. But the junior suite on Royal Caribbean, I think, is a great value. What Celebrity is doing now with the Aqua class, allowing you to take out the all-included, that's going to make that a pretty good value as well, as long as the Blue is still included. And I think the Blue restaurant is still included. I need to go double check that. But the junior suite actually is my favorite type of cabin on any ship. What about you, Rebecca? You got a favorite kind of cabin?
I like balconies, yeah. And the junior suites are nice on Royal.
Yeah.
The mini suites on a lot of,
those are nice too.
The mini suites on a lot of cruise lines are not hugely different than balconies, and so kind of pricing plays a part in my decision there. But
yeah.
No, anytime I'm on a cruise ship, how bad can it be?
Right, exactly. And for us, the girls said they've never been on any other cruise line, so you're interested to venture out. I mean, I encourage everybody to venture out. And if you work with a travel advisor, I don't know if it's going to be me or anybody else that you work with. If you work with a travel advisor and they know which cruise lines you're going on, that's one of the things that we can do. It's like, you know what? I've been on Royal Caribbean forever. I'd like to try another cruise line. What do you think? And so, based on your likes, based on your preferences, I'm not necessarily going to find you another cruise line. I'm going to find you a cruise ship that you're probably going to like based on what you're saying. Because, Royal Caribbean has 27 ships. Carnival has 25 ships. Norwegian has, I don't know, over 20 ships. Princess has a whole bunch of ships. So there's probably a ship out there that, it's not just about trying the cruise line. It's just like getting on your first cruise. We got to get you on the right ship for your first cruise so that we give you the best chance to enjoy cruising. It's the same thing about trying another cruise line. We need to get you on the right ship because it's not so much about, well, I want to go try Carnival. Well, what do you like, in your cruising? We're going to find that Carnival ship that's going to work the best for you, or you want to try Holland America. Well, we're going to find you the right Holland America ship because not all ships are created equal on every cruise line. So it's not just, but people are like, oh, I tried Princess, I didn't like it. Well, which ship did you go on? Oh, well, I went on, the Island Princess, and it was just so small and everything. Well, yeah, the Island Princess is a small ship. It's made to go through the Panama Canal. It's made to go to Alaska. It's designed for a purpose. I love it. We were on the Island Princess. Man, we had a great time on the Island Princess, but we knew what it was before we got on it. So just like going out on your very first cruise, we need to get you on the right ship if you're going to try another cruise line to at least give you the best opportunity to enjoy it, What do I think of the Cunard ship? They're amazing. They're absolutely amazing. They're gorgeous. Now, Cunard, not only do they have a dress code, they actually have pictures of what they suggest that you wear. So that's the one thing to know about Cunard. They're very serious about their dress code, and they will not let you into certain restaurants unless you meet that dress code. That's the only thing to understand about them. Great cruise line, top of the line service, top of the line food, but they are serious about that dress code. So be sure you understand that before you book onto Cunard, because you're not going to get into certain restaurants if you're not dressed appropriately. So Nick King, are drink packages worth it? That all depends on the math. As we always say, you have to do the math. how much are you going to spend per day on the drinks package versus how much are you going to drink? And does the drinks package include specialty coffees or no? Not all of them do. Like Norwegian, the free at sea does not include the specialty coffees. You have to step up to the ultimate free at sea or the ultimate drink package, whatever it is, to include the coffees. So is coffee a big part of what you're going to be factoring in to the overall cost of the cruise? And if the math works in your favor, then the drinks package is worth it. The math doesn't work in your favor. So what you can do is you can Google search Royal Caribbean bar menu, for example. Whatever cruise line you're going on, you can Google search cruise line bar menu. You can go cruise line coffee menu. You can bring up those menus, and now you can see just how much you're going to pay. And you can do the math. I'm going to drink 2 beers a day. I might have a couple of coffees a day, and I might have 2 cocktails. Okay, how much is that going to cost? Which cocktails are you going to get? And then how much is it going to cost you per day? For me, the Princess Plus package, we sell the Princess Plus package to most of our clients because it includes gratuities, Wi-Fi, and drink package, all drinks up to $15, including coffee. Now, if you're going to get the Wi-Fi package anyway on a Princess cruise, you're going to be paying for the gratuities. So now you got the Wi-Fi. Your drink package ends up being around $29, $27 per day. For most people, $27 per day, a couple of coffees, some sodas, maybe a mocktail, a beer, and a cocktail throughout the day, you're going to hit $27 very easily. So in that case, yeah, drink package works out very well. Royal Caribbean can be $70 to over $100 per person per day. That's a lot of drinking that you got to do.
And you do also have to take into account that most likely both adults in the cabin are going to have to buy that package.
Yeah.
So if you have one person who's really not much of a drinker, the other one would have to drink a lot to make up for it.
Worthwhile. Yeah. So my unscientific guess is that 75% of the people who get a drink package would do better just to go a la carte on the ship. But a lot of people say, well, I don't want to think about it. You don't have to think about it. You just give the card and you go. We were on the Carnival Mardi Gras. I have it on TikTok. I have it on YouTube if you'd like to see it. The drinks package would have been around $700, $800, something like that. And we spent less than $300 just going completely a la carte without even trying. Didn't even think about it. I was buying coffee. I was buying cocktails. I was doing everything that I wanted to do. Wasn't limiting myself to anything. And we spent right around $300 instead of $700 or $800, which is what it would have been for the package. So it's worth it if you're going to drink enough to make the math work in your favor. So, any way to get free upgrade and or more onboard credits? There's almost no way to get free upgrades anymore. It's all about the bidding process now.
Although sometimes cruise lines will run specials where you can get, an upgrade, get a category upgrade
during the booking.
During the booking.
So like right now, Oceania is running a four category upgrade right now. So if I book you into this category, I can automatically move you up. Carnival does that. Actually, Carnival is the best with the offers for people who have been loyal to Carnival. They're called the VIFP, the very important fun person. The more you sail on Carnival, and you give me that number and I go into the booking engine, there are a lot of offers that come up just for you. And very often it's one of those free things where like I can book you here, but now I can move you up 4 or 5 categories into a higher category. The Carnival is the absolute best. If you really want to get like a lot of good upgrade and things like that. Onboard credit, the same thing. Carnival is actually the best at doing it. A lot of the cruise lines are getting rid of it. Now, if you work with a travel advisor like me, sometimes we can offer extra onboard credit. For example, on Virgin Voyages, I automatically give you $100 of onboard credit if you book a Sea Terrace or above. That's because of my gold certified status. I'm a gold certified travel advisor for Virgin Voyages, so they allow me to give you $100 automatically. And now there's 60 voyages. I think Virgin is throwing in an extra 100 on top of mine, so you get $200, things like that. Yeah. So there are ways to do it. There are ways to do it. Let's see. What else? Princess Plus is the only way to go. For all the noise about Princess Plus, it's still a great package. And when I was on the Sky Princess, you can see the clip right here on TikTok and you can see it on YouTube. I actually made the comment that they could charge for Alfredos. It was that good. And I don't think $14 a person is actually outrageous for Alfredos. It could be more like $10 a person, but Alfredo's is worth paying the money if you don't have the package, but now that just gives you one more reason to get the plus. Plus you get the gelato, plus they've added on some pretty cool things.
I mean, if you weren't planning to get Wi-Fi, then you have to think more about it, but otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting Wi-Fi, to me, it's a no-brainer to get the plus package on Princess. If you're getting Wi-Fi. If you're not getting Wi-Fi, then it's one of those things we can have a discussion and kind of do the math. But if you're getting Wi-Fi, it's pretty much a no-brainer to get the plus. It really is. So, Edward is asking, what ships would I recommend for 15 days or so for a Hawaiian cruise? I'd probably lean into Celebrity or Princess. They don't do a whole lot of them.
Usually in the winter.
Yeah, it's usually in the winter. Like after the Alaska season, you're going to see some of the ships come down from Vancouver and Seattle and stay in LA for a while. But I would probably lean into Celebrity and Princess for those cruises. They are usually around 15 days. You're going to go from LA, you're going to go around the Hawaiian Islands. You're usually going to stop in Ensenada, maybe in Cabo, and then come back up. But I would be leaning into Celebrity. Like Celebrity has the Solstice class out there. Princess has the Royal class that they'll have out there. 2 excellent ships to go out there. Beautiful, because you're going to have like 9 sea days. So for me, for something like that, even though Hawaii, I would say, well, you typically want to be on a smaller ship. That's the Pride of America. If you want to be on a smaller ship, just fly to Hawaii, do the Pride of America. That's a great cruise line, great ship. And they just announced that they're going back to Maui with the cooperation of the local government, with the state government. They're going to do it in a responsible way, which is great because they need to start bringing some of those tourist dollars back to that area. So if you want to do small ship in Hawaii, well, then you got to fly over there. But because of all of those sea days, I would want to be on a little bit of a larger ship. So I would say either Royal class Princess or Solstice class on the Celebrity, probably. Hey, Kenneth, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, Virgin does rock. Not quite all included, almost all included. Almost all included. Viking would be all included. So,
well, not even that. They don't include gratuities.
That's true. They don't include gratuities. Clipper Loyalty, you're about to board the MSC Seaside. Have a great cruise. You're right down the street, man. You're just an hour away from us. Have an amazing, amazing time. Get the affogatos, man. Go down to Vinci. When we were on it, it was only $7, man. The affogato is unfreaking believable. As long as you like coffee, unfreaking believable. I think I had 4 of them during the cruise. They were so amazing. Are there particular cruise lines we should seek out for single supplements? And for those of you who don't know what that is, if you are a solo traveler and you book a double occupancy cabin, most of the time you are going to get charged for that second person who's not in the cabin, not because of the cabin itself or that bed that's in the cabin. You're taking up a second seat in the lifeboat. The lifeboats are assigned based on the occupancy of the cabin, not by how many people are actually in the cabin, unless there's a triple or quadruple. Now they have 4 people in it. But if it's a double occupancy cabin and only one person's in there, it counts as 2 seats in the lifeboat. So that's why you get charged for 2 people. So Norwegian Cruise Line is famous for their solo cabins. They have studio cabins and they have the whole studio area. Those are interior cabins. Virgin Voyages has interior and sea view cabins. Right now, those are solo cabins. And if you want to sail right now, up until the end of October 2023, Valiant and Resilient Lady in Europe, no solo supplement on Virgin Voyages right now, but only for Europe. So you can get a balcony for the price of 1. We are seeing some river cruises now. That was Avalon.
Certain sailings.
Yeah, certain sailings. Like we were pricing out Christmas marketplace cruises for some clients. In fact, Deb was just here a little while ago. But no solo supplement on river cruises for Christmas marketplace. That was fabulous. So, and then MSC Cruises has been known to run 80% off that solo supplement. Royal Caribbean has about 200 or so solo cabins. We actually did the research on it. We found them. They have like 6 on this ship, 4 on that ship, 8 on this ship. They even have like real honest to goodness balconies on the Quantum class. Not many of them, so you got to book like way out in advance if you really want one. But that's where a travel advisor can help you too. So you don't have to do the seeking out. You just tell us, hey, I want to go on a cruise in the Mediterranean in April of 2024. Can you please find something where I don't have to pay double? And we'll go look for it for you. And then we'll show you what the options are. That's one of the best things about working with a travel advisor. You don't have to do it. I mean, if you bring the research to us, we'll confirm it, and then we'll go make sure that there's nothing else that you didn't miss. But in a case like this, if you're like, hey, I really want to go to the Med in April. Can you please find me something that does not have a solo supplement? We'll go find it for you. No problem. Gold Peak, sweetie, hi. You're looking at the MSC Meraviglia to Bermuda. Is it a good ship? From all reports that we've seen, I mean, it's up and down. You have to realize that it is one of the cheapest cruise lines out there. So something has to give. The biggest complaints are usually on the food. We had a good experience on the MSC Seaside. We thought the buffet was quite good. Not the best, but better than Carnival and better than Norwegian. We thought the main dining room was better than both. But with the main dining room, I'm going to point out, we had a 9:45 p.m. seating. The reason why I'm pointing that out is because there's 3 seatings on the Seaside. I don't know about the Meraviglia, but on the Seaside, there were 3 dining seating. The first 2 were sold out. You know, the 5:30, 7:30, whatever they were sold out. The 9:45, when we went in the very first night, it was only about 50% full. The second time we went in, it's only about 25% full. So we had hot food, we had quick service, we had no problems with our service. We did hear from other guests on board that, you know, the earlier seating, they did have a little bit of issue with food coming out late. They did have some issues with food being cold, having to send it back, or not being totally hot, having to send it back in. So we actually may have lucked out. We didn't enjoy necessarily having a 9:45, but we may have had a better main dining room experience because we had that 9:45 seating. So I will point that out. I think the buffet, for what it is, it was good. They had homemade mozzarella. They had homemade burrata for 2 days on the buffet. That was amazing. Pizza's really good. What was good was good. What was okay, but then that's the same on every freaking, you know, cruise line. Like the Windjammer on Royal Caribbean usually has, you know, a couple like really, really good things, and then the rest of it's like, yeah, it's okay, you know. But are you going to go hungry? No. The pools, though. Now, if the pools are anything like they were on the Seaside, those are amazing. They're deep, they're big. We love that. So I think the Meraviglia could be good. You've also got the Carnival Venezia, which looks like a fabulous ship up there as well. So. Best features on a Viking river cruise. Number 1 is adults only, so make sure you know that. So it's adults only. You're not going to have kids running around.
And from my perspective, it's entirely non-smoking.
It's entirely non-smoking, and I think it's all balconies, if I recall correctly. There's no interiors on Viking?
I believe so.
Oh, yeah. Well, the river cruise, yeah. There's no interior. So there's a window. It's a window. Then you have your French balcony. Then you have your actual balconies, and then you have a couple of suites usually around the back. But I mean, just the fact that it's basically all inclusive. There's going to be a shore excursion included at every stop. The gratuities are not included. You can add those on. Viking has really good pricing on flights. I was pricing flights $7.99 total for 2 people to fly from Florida over to Europe and back. That was round trip, $7.99 total for 2 people. So the pricing, the airline pricing is really good.
And as far as the adult beverages go, beer and wine are included with lunch and dinner, and they do have a package that you can upgrade to if you want alcoholic beverages, or you can just do that a la carte.
Now, the biggest negative that's turning a lot of people off, especially when you book your first Viking cruise, and I see Deb is still on. Deb and her friend Meg we actually booked them on a Viking cruise, and they're like, you know what? If we got to pay like 22 months in advance, we don't really want that. So that's the one thing to be aware of with Viking. They want your full payment like 12 to like 20 months before the cruise. That's a long time to be making that final payment. So now we've got Deb and Meg. Now we're looking at an Avalon cruise because that final payment is due 90 days before the cruise, like a normal time. But Viking is obviously Viking is Viking. They're excellent. They're great ships. So just really, really good. But Deb is saying, oh, Deb, you're kind. We've done a great job on the Christmas River cruise for you guys. Well, thank you. And that's one of the things, you know, Deb and her friend Meg came to us and said, hey, we want to go on Viking. And you know, we're looking way out at 2025, and there's only a couple options there, but they didn't even think about Avalon. And we went in and said, hey, you know, here's Avalon.
I thought they mentioned Avalon in AMA.
They may have, or we did. I can't remember who mentioned it. But that's one of the things that, you know, we try to go in and we try to find, you know, other options for you guys. But most people will come to us because, you know, Viking is the name that everybody knows. But there's Avalon, AMA, there's Uniworld, there's Scenic, there's Emerald, Talk. I talked about Talk before. There's like, I don't know, around 10 or so main river cruise lines. And then there's smaller ones out there as well. So there's a lot out there. So I hope I answered a little bit of your question. Jill, you're cruising November, Royal Caribbean, Freedom of the Seas, and noticed a price decrease. Can you cancel a trip and repurchase new price? So you're going in November, your past final payment, you're going to lose, depending on the rules right now, because they have a cancellation policy. You're going to have to talk to your travel agent or talk to Royal Caribbean, because sometimes what they will do, if you can show, and this is better with a travel agent than it is trying to do it yourself. But I just had this conversation with another KHM travel agent yesterday, that if we can prove that there is a price decrease in the same category, sometimes we can get it redone. But your past final payment at this point, they're not going to offer you a refund. Okay, if you cancel the cruise, you're going to be subject to the cancellation policy. So make sure you know what those are, and have your travel agent or have that Royal Caribbean agent explain that to you carefully to make sure you're not going to lose any money. Because if you're going to lose some of your money that you paid down, then it's not worth it. So Chambers, you want to find good food and long trips. Which cruise lines would you recommend? Well, Oceania has some fabulous trips. They have amazing food, and Oceania is basically all inclusive. They have shore excursions. They give you like up to a $1,200 credit depending on the length of your cruise. All the food is included. All the alcohol and beer and all that is included with the meals, not necessarily
lunch
between.
And dinner.
Yeah, lunch and dinner.
And that's beer and wine, not alcohol.
Oh, that's true. Beer and wine. And you can upgrade the thing. Plus, they have free flights, free round trip flights from 50 U.S. cities, and economy is only $99 each way if they don't have it from your city. So Oceania probably be one of the first cruise lines I would look at. Viking maybe, depending there. Holland America. Now, from what we've been told, we haven't been on the ships recently, but we have been told by our clients. We've been seeing some things out there that Holland America has stepped up their food game, that has gotten better. I will admit, when we were on Holland America in 2012, the main dining room was okay. The buffet was fabulous. The buffet was better than the main dining room, and their specialty dining was on point. So Holland America has, you can go to Africa and back 73 days from Fort Lauderdale. You can go do the voyage of the Vikings from Boston, 35 days round trip. You can go to Australia, New Zealand round trip from San Diego. So you want some long trips. Holland America is certainly up there. And then, you have your usual players, your Seabourn, even Royal Caribbean. Now, Royal Caribbean doesn't have the best food, but, Serenade of the Seas is doing a world tour, and they've chopped that up into chunks that you can do. Radiance of the Seas is out there.
But you do have to bear in mind that food is very subjective, and what Walter and I think is really good food, somebody else is going to go.
If I like it, you're going to like it. That's basically. I'm very fussy about my food, but the thing of food, I really appreciate a good meal, right? Some people are like, well, Walt, you like to spend a lot of money on your food. If I can find a food truck on the side of the road that's serving me some amazing things for like $3, I'm going there all the time. I just want the food to be good. I want it to be worth what I paid. So I'm okay paying $125 per person if it's a meal like the chef table that we had on the Symphony of the Seas. That was ridiculous. It was worth every dollar that we spent on that. But if I spend, $35 and I'm going to Sabatini's and we have a 3.5-hour meal because it shouldn't be 3.5 hours, that's disappointing. And I want that corrected. So for me, I'm okay with cheap food. I'm okay with expensive food. I just want decent food. And you're going to get decent food on pretty much everything. So I hope that helped. Chambers, if you want some help with things, certainly reach out. Where'sWalterTravel.com. Just reach out. We'd be happy to help find some cruises for you. There's so many out there. So many out there. Did you see the one that Stephanie and Ben and David did? Like the 16, 17 days, the Norwegian Spirit, they were in Hawaii and then they went up to Alaska. Oh my God, what an amazing cruise. Just an amazing cruise. Then there's a ton of Trans-Pacific, Transatlantic, just all over the place. So reach out. How much should you plan to spend on excursions? So, gosh, anywhere from say $20 up to $500 plus. Depends on what you're doing. And it depends on whether you're booking it through the cruise line or not. The cruise lines automatically mark up excursions up to 100%. Just automatic. Because they're guaranteeing, they're upcharging on it. But sometimes, like, you have to. We did a sunset catamaran in St. Thomas on our very first cruise after the pandemic on a Norwegian Escape. we had to book it through Norwegian because the return time for the catamaran was actually sail away time. It was 7 o'clock. And that was the time that we were scheduled to sail away. So, of course, the ship had to wait for us because it was their excursion. So we had to do it. Certain places, like I said earlier, Belize, I would definitely recommend that you do the ship excursion. So you're one of the first to get off the ship because it's such a long tender to get to shore. But literally, you can spend 20 to 500 plus, depending on what it is. The smaller it is, the more things that you're doing on it. Sometimes it costs more. We're going on a food excursion in San Juan. There's 15 of us that are going to do it, and it's $100 per person. But it's a hands-on culinary tour. We're going to get to make things and do a tour. I would say on average, shore excursions are probably around $100 per person. Say on average, yeah. Just depends on where you're going. So Clipper Loyalty, I'm glad to help. Which Mexican cruise and cruise line would be great for first-time cruisers? Now, I am going to say, if you're talking about the Mexican, I don't know if you're talking about Mexican Riviera or you're talking about Cozumel, Costa Maya on the Caribbean side. If you're talking about the Mexican Riviera, we've been getting more stories from clients that are not enjoying that cruise as much. Because Ensenada is just, I would not recommend anybody get off the ship in Ensenada. I would make that a ship day and stay on it. But even Cabo, Puerto Vallarta, people just don't seem to be enjoying those places as much as they used to. We're getting reports that it's a little dirtier, a little scarier. Over on the other side, now if you're talking about Cozumel, Costa Maya, and all of that, they're still a lot of fun. But if you're talking on the Mexican Riviera side, maybe a Royal Princess ship would be really, really nice. Those are beautiful. The Solstice class from Celebrity, absolutely gorgeous. Carnival Panorama is a big old Vista class ship. She could be a lot of fun. It depends on what you're looking for. I don't know what you're looking for, Bill and Max. And then over on this side, well, geez, you got a lot of choices. You got Galveston, Texas, you got New Orleans, and you got Florida. All kinds of ships going out of there we got Carnival, we got Princess, we got Royal Caribbean, we got Norwegian, got MSC. I guess it's like everybody under the sun going there. But yeah, so for your very first cruise, certainly my best advice is to work with a travel advisor so we can match you up with the right ship, whether that's me or somebody else. Now, there's a difference between there's the personal vacation planner that's with the cruise line. Then there's an independent travel advisor. Personal vacation planner with the cruise line, their job is to get you on their ships. Okay. A Carnival person is not going to talk to you about Princess, Royal Caribbean, and Celebrity, except to say that their ships are better. Whereas an independent travel advisor, I don't care which cruise line I put you on. I'm going to put you on the best ship so I can compare and I can tell you the differences between going on Celebrity, going on Princess, going on Carnival, going on Norwegian. These are the differences between the four. This is what you're going to get for those four. Whereas if you go with a personal vacation planner on a cruise line, their job is to keep you in that ecosystem. Do not allow this person to get out of Carnival. Do not allow this person to get out of Princess. They need to book here. So that would be my best advice to you, to work with a travel advisor. If we can help you, certainly reach out to us, but find a good travel advisor to work with. Do I get alerted if a cruise fare goes down after the initial booking? No, I don't. If I were to set up like one of those kayak things and I have 200 bookings going on, my inbox would just be pinging all the time. So we do a look around, and more often than not, I mean, my clients are great. My clients will say, hey, I think our balcony went down. And the thing of it is, when you see, hey, the balconies are now $500 cheaper than what we paid, that's always that entry level balcony. It's not necessarily your category. You always have to remember, like every cruise line has 5, 10, 15 categories of balcony. So more often than not, my client will ping me, and then I go in and I look. And if it is now a new price, yeah, we're going to go in and get it rate adjusted. If it's not a new price, before final payment, correct. If it's not, then I just let you know. I always tell my client, hey, this is what you paid. This is what it actually is today. So I always make sure that they know. But more often than not these days, it's my clients who actually let me know, which is great. I mean, I love that. But we do go in and we check regularly as often as we can to see, hey, are the prices being adjusted? But no, obviously the cruise line's not going to let us know. They're going to let us know that a sale's going on. Like if we see that a sale's going on, that's an automatic trigger. Oh, who do we have on Royal Caribbean? Let's go see what all the Royal Caribbean fares are. So there is that. You live in San Francisco. How do you find a travel advisor? Well, we personally, we service people all over the country. So I have a whole bunch of people from the West Coast, thanks to TikTok. You can always search for, travel advisor in my area, travel advisor San Francisco, to find a travel advisor there. You can look for recommendations out there. Like we have the Travel Leaders Network. There's a whole bunch of us on the Travel Leaders Network that you can always look up. But I can certainly help you in San Francisco. I do West Coast hours all the time. In fact, I have a call tomorrow night. It's going to be 9 o'clock my time, 6 o'clock their time when I talk to them. But yeah, you can always look for, travel advisor near me, and then look for somebody who's highly rated, and then pick somebody like that. Yeah, that would be my advice. You're going back to Alaska in 24 and the Grand Princess. That's fabulous. Tony, you're going to be on the Icon in February. Watch for us. January 20th. We will be on. We're going to be the first people on the Icon of the Seas. I don't actually know how many of us there's going to be on that sailing, but January 20th through the 23rd, we will be on the very first preview sailing on the Icon of the Seas. Yes, I will be live streaming. I will attempt to live stream at least one day. I will be shooting tons of video while I'm on there. I'm going to try not to sleep. Rebecca will be sleeping. Rebecca will be relaxing. Rebecca will be at the beach. I will be running around like a madman with a camera, trying to shoot as much as I possibly can. Samuel, hey, buddy, how are you? I may have covered this. What's my thoughts on the Oceana promo? Excellent promo. Right now, I did mention it before, but right now they're running a deal where you get a 4-category upgrade. Now, that's subject to availability, obviously, but that's a great thing. You can pay for, a veranda and you get upgraded. Now, there's limits to it, right? You can't just suddenly, I don't think you can jump from a veranda to a penthouse, but I'll check that. You might be able to do that. But it's a great deal. Oceana, I tell you what, we're getting more and more people looking at Oceana. We've been talking about it. Look, people are getting nickel and dime. Cruise lines are charging more. They're doing this. So we got a lot of clients leaning into Virgin. They're leaning into Oceana. They're starting to look, Azamara. They're starting to look at some of these cruise lines. It's like, I might be paying a little bit more up front, but overall, it's going to work out as a wash. And even if I do pay a little bit more up front, once I get on the ship, nobody's going to be after me to be, hey, buy a drink packet. Hey, buy a food packet. Buy this packet. Buy that package. You're not getting hit up with all that. When you walk onto a Virgin Voyages ship, nobody's hitting you up to do anything because they know you've already paid for it all. All you got to do is get the bar tab. You can't even get the bar tab on the ship anyway. You had to get it before you got on board. There's none of that. So Oceana is getting more and more looked. We are presenting Oceana to more and more of our clients now, especially like if you use like the Haven or something like that on Norwegian, actually get a better deal in some cases on Oceana, especially with the included flights. 50 cities in the United States, free round trip. And I mean free round trip to Australia, okay? All the way down there. I've got some clients in Atlanta looking at Oceana in Australia. It's free round trip flights included. Absolutely free. So, oh, that's a great question, Edward. As a travel advisor, do we have access to book handicap accessible rooms, or can they only be booked through the cruise lines themselves? That's an excellent question. Thank you for that. Some of the cruise lines do allow us to go right in and grab them. What I can see usually is whether the cabins are available. So even if I can't book it directly, then I call the cruise line and I go ahead and get it booked. But I would say about half the cruise lines let me grab them myself, and then the other half make me call in. But at least I'm the one calling in. You don't have to deal with the phone calls calling in to them. So that's an excellent question. But some of the cruise lines do allow, like I know Virgin Voyages will allow me to grab it. Norwegian, I can grab them for sure. Royal Caribbean, I think I can grab the handicap cabin. But we do have to make sure that we put in the special needs form, pretty quickly, because they will take that cabin away if they don't have a special needs form on file. So we definitely want to make sure that we do that. Let's see. Well, I'm sorry for the issues with Viking. I hope that they had travel insurance. I'm so sorry about that. Let's see. Helicopter to Mendenhall Glacier excursion. Yeah, so those are, I highly recommend, I think that's in Skagway. We did that. We did Temsco helicopters. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Is it expensive? Yeah. Is it a once in a lifetime thing? Yeah. It's amazing. Can you take your scooter on I assume you mean tender. The scooter can't go on a tender. There may be a few that they can get it onto a tender, but they can't.
Yeah, and if they can,
For the most part.
you probably would have to be the kind that can fold up pretty small, more the power chairs that can fold up, and you would have to have somebody who can carry that onto the tender. But you have to check with the guest services.
Yeah, like Will has a power chair that literally just folds right up. So, you know, somebody can just pick that up and put that onto the tender for you. Yeah, they could probably do it. Best excursion to take now in 2023. I mean, you're talking the entire world. So I don't know. I don't know where you're going. You love Puerto Vallarta. Thank you so much, JP, for chiming in. He said Puerto Vallarta was great. We'll bring contacting you to plan Europe for the fall. Hey, thank you so much for talking to us. Again, best excursion. I don't know where you're talking about. You got to remember, we have an entire world to talk about.
And everybody has different interests.
Everybody has different interests and abilities and all of that. So any tips for MSC or Seaside? Definitely pizza. Affogato. Holy crap. The Affogato in the Vinci is one of the best things I've ever had. Pools are very deep. They're wonderful. They're big on the seaside. Loved it. The balcony cabins were fabulous. And try to get on an itinerary that has an overnight at Ocean Key. Oh my God, it was so much fun doing an overnight at Ocean Key. Be careful. Ocean Key is going to be closed for 6 weeks. What, in April, I think? So don't get one of those bookings where Ocean Key is closed. But if you get an overnight at Ocean Key, that's the first time we've ever done that. It was so cool. I loved it. MSC is a great cruise line. We had such a good time. What is a good 2-week early December cruise? Doing Italy this year. Did Panama last? It depends on, again, where do you want to go? You know, the Caribbean's going to have a lot. Obviously, Galveston's going to have a lot. I don't know if California, well, California to Hawaii is going to be there, probably. So I don't know. It depends on where you want to go. Early December is going to be expensive. You know, that's going to be cheap for December, but it's still going to be expensive because now we're in the holiday season. So all of those cruises go up. So just be aware you're paying a premium. If you can go early January, you're going to save money over early December. So that's all I would get you. Deborah asks, how does the drink package work on Virgin? Can you use it in stores and the coffee snack shop? No. The
coffee store, yes. Okay.
Rebecca's like, the coffee you can. I didn't get there yet. The bar tab can only be used for drinks. Okay, you can't use it in the store to buy anything, but you can use it. So the bar tab works on all premium bevies, and that's your coffee, that's your mocktails, that's your beer, your wine, your cocktail, and it's anything you want to get. There's no top shelf, bottom shelf, all of this crap. You can only get $15. You can only get $10. It's $300. It's $600, whatever it is. If you buy the bar tab, Virgin tops it off. They'll add $50 or $100 depending on the promo. If you're in a Mega Rockstar Suite, I think they automatically add $100.
No.
Oh, it's the deep blue.
If you're no.
There's so many drink packages to keep up with. It's like confusing. That's why we always have to have like the information in front of us when we're talking to clients. But yeah, so you have to buy in advance. It's $300 at a pop, and then Virgin Voyages will top it off with an extra $50 to $100, and then they just simply run it down. And if you're in a Caribbean itinerary, it works at the Bimini Beach Club. I love it. I think it's the best drink package out there of anybody. So yeah. Cal, can I take over an existing booking? I can take over an existing booking if it's been between 15 and 30 days since you booked the cruise with most cruise lines. You have to fill out a form or you got to fill out a PDF and send it to the cruise line. Virgin Voyages, however, will let me take over a booking all the way up until final payment. I've done that multiple times. In fact, we just did it a couple days ago. The final payment is due in a month and they let me take it over. So Virgin Voyages is like completely different. They're really cool. But yes, I can take over an existing booking with most cruise lines up to 30 days. I think Carnival might be the one that's 15 days. And it's just a form that we have to fill out. And I have to give you some information that you have to pass on. Metallica, thoughts on the latest Royal Caribbean ship? I'll let you know in January. January 20th, we will be on board the Icon of the Seas. Tips for Alaska. Juneau, Harv and Marv whale watching. In Skagway, Temsco helicopters do the dog sled tour. If they cancel the dog sled tour, they'll give you the option to fly to a glacier. And in Ketchikan, you want to do Island Air Wings with Pilot Michelle. Do a float plane. Really awesome. Really awesome. So Mega Rockstars unlimited drinks under $20. That is correct. Or is it 25? 20 or 25, something like that. Yeah. For Hawaii cruises, is there any way to limit areas where you can cruise to? No, not really. I mean, it's whatever the cruise line's going to do. You're on that itinerary. Why is it so hard to get a single room for a single traveler? Because there's not many of them. There's less than 10% of the cabins on any given ship are going to be solo, and that's why.
I would say it might be even less than.
Yeah, it might be 5%,
1 or 2%.
Yeah. Any deals for Canadians? Maybe. It depends. We have Disney was running 30% off for Canadian citizens. Royal Caribbean had some deals at one time, certain times of the year. And it's probably going to be like January, February, maybe September, October, when things slow down. But they do come along from time to time. And we can see them when we look into the specials and all of that. So we can totally see when there are specials out there from the various cruise lines, things like that. But yeah, they offer deals for Floridians. Like if you're a resident of the area, that is one of the best deals you can get. Like the people sailing out of Seattle, if they live in Washington, you live in Florida, live in Texas, New York, even Vancouver. So those are Canadian cruises. Sometimes you get deals on that. So yeah, there are actually. Would I recommend renting a car or taxi in Cozumel or Costa Maya? I wouldn't want to drive down there. I think people drive crazy in Mexico. Then again, they drive crazy here in Florida. So no, I wouldn't. I would, if you're going to do a taxi or you're going to do one of these car services, you really need to do the research to make sure they're reputable. cruisecritic.com. This is like, the granddaddy of all the cruise peer sharing. Cruisecritic.com has a port of call forum. And then you can go in directly to Mexico, and then you can go into Cozumel, you can go in Costa Maya, and you can probably search private car taxi in that forum, and you're going to see recommendation for companies. Use a recommended company. That's all I can say. Do your research before you go, because you don't want to just get into any car or any taxi. So yeah. And that is a lot of fun. A lot of people will do that with the private cars and things like that. And Shore Excursions Group, which you can get to from my website, where'swaltertravel.com, they do have private cars that you can rent in almost all of their stops. So at least you're going through a reputable tour operator who's going to provide a car for you that you should be able to trust. That's the biggest thing. And that's the biggest thing. Honestly, that's the advice for any independent tour operator anywhere in the world. Do not just go with any tour operator that you see, because there are the barkers. Inside the cruise terminal, only people approved that are approved to work there or who work with the cruise line, they can get in there. Once you leave the secure area, there are going to be probably over 100 barkers out there, the carnival barkers. Hey, take this tour, take this taxi, do this, do that, do da. If you don't know anything about them, some of them are actually good. You're going to see some people go, hey, I went with so-and-so right outside the terminal. They're fabulous. They took us around, da. They're great. Some of them are not so good. So you want to know before you walk out there. I'm not saying don't use any of the barkers, don't use any of those services. Some of them are actually good. You just want to know before you do it. So do I have access to the Amex perks? I don't know specifically which perks you're talking about. Generally, I don't have access. If you have specific perks through a card, if I book with that card, you're going to get the perks. But if you're saying, can I get like $200 off a cruise that Amex is offering? No, because I'm going to be booking directly through the cruise line website, through the booking engine. And unless they apply it, I can't apply any extra perks from a credit card company. Usually you're going through a specific link, like into the cruise line to get those perks. And that's not the same link that I'll be using.
And I believe
probably
Amex does have their own either travel agency or they work with a third party.
Yeah, they work with a third party or something like so. So my answer, probably not. So folks, we've been going almost 2 hours. We usually only go an hour and a half, but we've been going almost 2 hours. So y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. Now, a reminder that Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to have Holland America. We're going to have Whitney from Holland America joining us. So, you've heard a lot of things about Holland America. I'm sure probably half of them are wrong. So definitely come on over and check that out. 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, only on YouTube. We will not be on TikTok. Tuesday morning, we're just going to have a little fun at 11 a.m. A little bit before 11 a.m. I'm going to pop up. We're going to have a watch party on the Disney Treasure. Let's all see what the Disney Treasure is all about. I'll have it on a big screen behind me. And if you all want to tune into their YouTube channel while we're doing it, we can see what the Disney Treasure is all about. That should be fun. But Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on the YouTube channel, Whitney from Holland, America. And of course, next Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, we'll be right back here on TikTok and YouTube.
And then just because a lot of people were asking about Oceana, you've got them coming up.
Oceana's coming up September 14th. Yeah, Oceana will be on our YouTube channel September 14th. So that's going to be a really good one. I cannot wait over on the YouTube side. So YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday. Really appreciate you coming out. And on TikTok,